world in a horizontal circle. Horizontal circle. Horizontal circle. The stone makes 14 revolutions in 25 seconds. 14 revolutions in 25 seconds. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the acceleration. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the acceleration. Magnitude and direction of the acceleration. This is the question. First of all, what all things given to you that you will write. First is R is given. R means radius. Answer. R is equal to 80 centimeter. 80 centimeter means 80 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter you will write. Okay. Right? Okay. Then 14, the stone makes 14 revolutions in 25 seconds. It is world. Then the stone makes 14 revolutions in 25 seconds. Therefore, number of revolutions in 1 second is equal to 14 divided by 25. Right? Now, frequency will write. Frequency is equal to, is given by F is equal to 14 divided by 25. The revolution per second. Sometimes it is also called as hertz. HRTZ, hertz. Revolutions per second or vibration per second is called hertz, denoted by HZ, revolutions per second. Am I correct? Now, omega we can calculate. Therefore, angular velocity, omega is equal to, omega I told you that is equal to 2 pi f. That is equal to 2 pi into 14 by 25. So this is omega, right? Okay. Now centripetal acceleration you have to calculate. Therefore, AC is equal to R omega square. Very simple. R omega square formula is there. This we can. R is given. That is equal to 80 into 10 raised to minus 2 into omega square. Omega square means 2 pi into 14 divided by 25 square. Take pi is equal to 22 by 7. Pi is equal to 22 divided by 7. Putting all the values, you will get this is equal to 9.9 meter per second square you will get. So this is also very simple question. Anybody can do this question, right? Only formula application questions I wrote here, right? It's a very simple question like this. Go on doing. So read the question once again and also note down in your book how simple formula is applied, right? Okay. So we are going through questions here, questions of uniform circular motion, right? So I am removing this also from the board. Next question, what I'm going to write is the adjacent figure shows question 5. The adjacent figure shows a hemisphere, a disc is kept on the top. A disc is kept on the top. It begins to slide. It begins to slide on the surface. it begins to slide on the surface, which is frictionless, Full stop. At what height it will lose its contact? At what height? At what height it will lose its contact? It will lose its contact. It will lose its contact with the surface. This is the question, right? A figure is drawn here, a hemisphere, right? And a disc is placed here, right? This disc can slide. Suppose it is sliding along this direction, right? This is the situation. Now, to understand the answer, so understand the question, you see, I'm writing the answer. For that, we need another diagram. That diagram I am making here. This is part of the question. And this is the answer that I can draw, that you can make you understand. I can make you understand. So this is the hemisphere. Hemisphere, the body was sometime here, and it is sliding and reaching at this point. I'm reaching at this point. This point we can say that is, this point is P. This is center, right? Okay. This is the ground level, right? This is the level the body was in the beginning. Now the body is at this point. Okay. The whole distance is, this was the original height. This is R. The whole thing is R. Right? So here we can take at this particular height. When the body reaches at this particular height at the point P, H, the body slides. When the body loses its contact. When the body loses its contacts, it will move along the tangent. The whole thing is R, therefore this much distance is equal to R minus HIM. So these are the things. The body was earlier at the point O, and it starts sliding. When the body reaches at this point, let us assume that it loses its contact with the surface, and it goes in the direction of the tangent dash of the figure, right? Okay. We can consider at this point the acceleration acting on the body is like this. That means acceleration gravity is acting vertically downwards, right? This is also another radius toward the center. Suppose this angle makes an angle theta, then this is a straight line. This can be written as equal to G cos theta. G cos theta again, right? And this is equal to G sin theta. Right? Acceleration. When the body reaches the point P, its acceleration is acting because the body is under gravity. Right? Acceleration due to gravity is acting vertically downwards. Acceleration due to gravity can be resolved into two components. One is make an angle theta with the radius. This is radius only. Right? The line joining the position of the body to the center of the hemisphere. That is radius only. Along this radius, G cos theta is acting. Another component is G sin theta. Now, we should not feel any doubt because these two components will be perpendicular components. They are orthogonal components. This line, tangential line, and this is radius. always an angle 90 degrees. Tangent makes an angle 90 degrees with the radius. Therefore, these two components are orthogonal components. G resolved into two components. One is G cos theta along this line and G sin theta along the tangent. Am I correct? Okay, this is the condition. Okay. So G sin theta at P, the centripetal acceleration is equal to at P, because the body is actually, as it slides along the surface of this hemisphere, it is actually executing a uniform circular motion. Right? The body is sliding. The surface has no friction also. Right? So it is moving in on the surface of a hemisphere, means it is executing circular motion. For any body to execute circular motion, what is necessary? That everybody knows, centripetal force. And the acceleration produced on the body is given by acceleration, centripetal acceleration, right? And so, centripetal acceleration is equal to V square by capital R. V square by capital R. Right? So, centripetal acceleration means the body, when it is at the point P, then also the body was on the circular path. That time, the centripetal acceleration is acting along the radius towards the center, which will what quantity will provide for the centripetal acceleration? Centripetal acceleration is provided by the G cos theta, that means component of G along the radius will provide for the centripetal acceleration. So we can write V square by R is equal to G cos theta. So why I wrote V square by R is equal to G cos theta, you understood. So the body was moving in a circular path and reaches at the point P. At this point, the acceleration is G acting vertically downwards. That can be resolved into two components. One is G cos theta along the radius toward the center, and the other is G sin theta tangential. So this body, even at the point P, is in the circular motion. For a body to execute a circular motion, what is necessary? It needs a centripetal acceleration. Any body moves in the circular path as an acceleration, centripetal acceleration. In this case, centripetal acceleration is provided by the component of the